So the twin flame. So if somebody breaks up, this is what kills me about the twin flame journey, that we need to like be careful what we say when we have a platform, okay? Just because you broke up with your twin flame, if it is your twin flame at all, by the way, doesn't mean that the twin flame doesn't exist. It could have been that it wasn't your twin flame, number one. It could have been that basically the twin flame journey that you had imploded and there's no fixing it because your ego and the person's ego is more involved in being right and listening to other influences than trying to figure out what the twin flame journey really is. The twin flame journey is not convenient. It's not something you can pick and choose. I have clients who have begged me, please tell me it's not a twin flame. And I've had to deliver the message because I'm here to tell you the truth. And I've said, I'm really sorry. Sadly, this is your twin flame. And yeah, he's an asshole. I'm sorry. So now we're going to talk about what you're going to do since your twin flame is an asshole. That doesn't stop the fact that it's a twin flame. Why is this important to understand? Because the looping of your twin flame is going to come through your incarnation until your last breath, until you end your egoic avatar journey, until you drop this human experience, this particular one. And then when they drop their body or whatever, you will meet them on the other side. Hopefully there'll be a frequency match that is long enough for you guys to meet and talk. But to have a platform and to say, I don't believe in the twin flame BS because you broke up with your twin flame, not okay. There's certain things that you have to be responsible about. Because it's not about your success. It's about helping other people navigate. And sometimes saying nothing is best. I'm going to say this because what's happening is, as long as everything was great, oh yes, it's my twin flame. That's not how life works. So when you listen to content creators who have, over 100,000 people following them, and because they've broken up and they've decided, I don't adhere to the twin flame BS anymore, be careful. Because don't make their bitterness yours. Your journey is not theirs. And yeah, I sound a little pissed off. I am pissed off. I'm annoyed. Because it's irresponsible. There are a lot of twin flame. In fact, many of you have been in twin flame journeys with your twin, multiple incarnations, where it didn't work. Literally, it cracked up. It just split apart in midair. That was it. And there was no going back. For multiple reasons, dealing with circumstances, maybe you were in the 16th century and you were separated by choice or not, maybe by trauma or not, whatever. And it ended, but choice or not, maybe by trauma or not, whatever. And it ended, but right now, some of my clients are not going to be in union with their twin flame because the twin flame is a complete piece of shit. Absolutely true. And until that person wakes up, there's no union happening. It will not happen. But the problem with suddenly deciding that it doesn't exist is that the reverberation of your twin's energy will flitter through here and there throughout this incarnation until you drop your body and beyond. And that's the reality of a twin flame journey. It isn't to entertain you and make you feel like you've got the gold ring and you're the divine couple and you're walking on water. It isn't always, in fact, rarely is it like that. That's twin ray journeys. And twin ray journeys have maybe a couple hiccups called life, but their bond is solid. And nothing and no one outside of them, I don't care if they've been your friend for 30 fucking years. Once a twin ray meets, game over. They are bonded. You've known them for 30 years as their best friend, and you want to influence their separation, whatever, not happening because you see they've been bonded for hundreds of thousands of years. They outrank you. In a twin flame journey, unfortunately, that outside influence can have massive influence in your twin flame journey, which is why I tell people, please, don't take advice for people whose life you don't want to emulate, who didn't experience what you've experienced. In other words, they've never had the love of their life, much less one, much less two. You can have two loves of your life that actually come into your life at different junctures of your consciousness of your realization. You know what I mean, right? At 20, you're at different junctures of your consciousness of your realization. You know what I mean, right? At 20, if you were 40, that you were 20, no fucking way. There's aspects of you, of course, a basic personality, but some of the habits, things you accepted, things you did, they're no longer part of you. Maybe in your 20s, as a woman, you were reading all kinds of Harlequin romance books and shit like that. Now you're reading self-help books, self-realization, yoga books, shit like that. You're not the same. Your reading list has changed, okay? So you can have two loves of your life, but the twin outranks the other, to be honest. And so why I sound irritated is because I'm seeing influencers just keep stepping in dog shit over labels. See, we're using labels. On one of my lives, I said, forget the label. Let's just call it high-level soul or soulmate bonds that span hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years. Let's call it that. Fuck the TF name. Fuck that name. Because that name's been shat on by everyone. It has. And that's why many of you are having problems. Because you're leaning with the influence of people who are bitter, cynical, pissed off that they were betrayed. And maybe it wasn't a twin flame. Maybe it was what I would call a high-level soulmate where there was unfinished business and it had to end. In fact, it was, if you did it right, your relationship was going to end with this person. So that maybe you could be in a twin flame or, my God, if you're really advanced, a twin ray journey. That's what people need to start talking about. But when an influencer has the mendacity to drop that in the pot of the consciousness of the collective with absolute no responsible understanding of people who have taken their lives because of a twin flame connection that was confusing, toxic, and made them feel crazy. The dark night of the soul was beyond anything people can understand. It's beyond clinical. It's not psychosis. Again, that term is being thrown around like, like an omelet in a frying pan. Psychosis, there are people who are fucking, I'm sorry, I'm not political, fucking crazy. And they know all the right words in the spiritual language, new age language. They know all the words. I know because I've met them. And I will not take them on as clients because I do not want to add to their suffering. So I'll simply gently say to them, I'm not for you. I'm not going to give you what you need. I think you're an amazing person, but I'm not. I reject them as clients very gently because all they need, they do not need judgment. They need gentleness. There are people out there who are absolutely going crazy. They are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm politically incorrect. And so there was somebody else who said, psychosis is a rite of passage. No, it isn't, because I've never gone through psychosis. Neither has my son. Depression is not psychosis. I've had clients literally tell me, I'm Mary Magdalena. What the fuck? And believe it. With all their heart and breath. Like, if you tell them that they are not Mary Magdalena, oh my God. There's a funny joke that my twin told me once. Funny as hell. It's two guys. It's a guy in an insane asylum. And the guy claims, I'm Napoleon. No, seriously. And the attendant's going, no, seriously, you're not Napoleon, but get back in your, bedroom. I am Napoleon, and I will not, you listen to me, I am Napoleon. And he said, well, how do you know you're Napoleon? And he says, God told me. And a voice screamed out, no, I did not. I never told you were Napoleon. So, I think you see the moral of the joke. So there are people, in fact, there are people who have bestsellers right now who have written books saying all kinds of crazy shit that they've done. And the world right now and the powers that be that control the world and those that decide I'll publish you but not publish that are publishing things that I'm not going to even mention the name I'm thinking of the book. We're backing away going, what the fuck? This is a bestseller? What? Whoa. That's psychosis. And it's building on psychosis. In other words, it's confusing people on certain things. So I've in this little live that I'm doing, I've actually merged two different completely opposite concepts, which is be responsible. You've broken up with your man or woman. You thought this was a twin flame. You should just say nothing. Because especially if you've never mentioned it as a twin flame journey. Never was it mentioned to you. Did you talk about it while you were in union with your person? You never once mentioned it. Maybe others commented, but you never did. And now that it's over, now you're going to mention it as I don't adhere to that? That's bullshit. I'm judging. I sure in the fuck am. Because I have been with people who literally wanted a reason not to take their own lives. Just one. And thank God they came across me and I gave them more than one. I gave them fucking 20. I've had to walk people off the ledge because of content creators like this making these insane fucking comments. And then suddenly they go down the rabbit hole and they start reading all this shit that denigrates and denies the twin flame journey as psychosis. So you fucking am fucking pissed. Right? There's an old saying, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Well, I have nothing nice to say, but I better say it because I want to save people's lives. Because people have done it. There are people who know exactly how to do it. And sadly, they've been successful. Okay? They're no longer walking on this planet. And believe me, that domino effect, you may not ever know their names, reverberated and hit you a certain way. Because good karma and bad karma is a domino effect that affects all of us. That's why we suffer certain things. And we don't know why. We don't know why we're crying. The Schumann residence is doing this and that. Well, the Schumann residence is being impacted by despair, by injustice, by violence. The planet is weeping. So when people are saying certain things that can influence consciousness in the right way or the wrong way, it's a massive responsibility. Psychosis is not a rite of passage. Okay? It isn't. You thinking you're Jesus or Buddha incarnate, I'm calling you out. Fucking get your head together. You're not, or else you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't see you or hear your voice. Get a grip. Because you would not be a frequency match to be here. And you would be and if you were here, unlike Yeshua, who is walking among the people, like the prince and the pauper, right? You would come here more in the line of, I'm going to say it, Krishna. Because you would come in complete power and you would emanate such a light that people would be attracted to you. You wouldn't even have to say a fucking word. You'd be like a beacon. People would just come at you. And they would want to know. They would want to hear you. There's a woman that is, her name is Amma, right? And she has a light, but the light has been dimmed to be like in a level of 3D, of 4D compatibility, 5D compatibility, thereabouts. But it flashes and lowers its frequency. It flashes and lowers its frequency. And she hugs people. And when she hugs people, she says nothing really. But when people are held in her arms, something happens. I'll give you an example. My twin's brother, who was a heroin addict, became clean from one hug. She attracts people all over the world. People stand in line for hours to get Amma's hug. You see what I'm saying? You'd be an Amma. And even she has to dim her light here and there to keep it going so that she doesn't blind us. Does that make sense? So when people say, I'm Sophia, I'm a fractal image of, no, actually, they're not saying fractal because I've said to you guys that we are fractals of Yeshua. We are milligrams. We're nanoparticles. We have 1 nanoparticle of Yeshua, many of us do, to become the lions, to speak the truth, to bring ascension into massive 5D reality on this planet. That's why we're here. But by no means am I Mary Magdalena or Mother Mary or no. Absolutely not. And anyone that says so needs to get their head checked, to be honest. Does that make sense? Because starseeds educate, and I can't read that, unfortunately. Okay, and then there's this. Okay, hang on. So there's a problem, okay? There is definitely a problem. And hang on for a quick second. And we are confirmed. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments on what I'm saying? It's pretty intense. I mean, for me, it was very intense. I had to go on a live right away. I wasn't planning to do a live. As you know, most of my lives are never planned. Because when I see things that are not fair, I go ahead and I go through the process of, adhering or addressing these issues. And it's to help you so that you have more confidence in your twin flame journey. Are some of you in twin flame? No, you're not. And how do I know? Because out of 24 people right now, some of you are not. It's just that simple. You're dealing with a karmic, beautiful, loving, or intensely negative situation. Are all twin flames in a karmic loop? Yes, or else we wouldn't keep fucking doing this shit. We're all karmics. That's the other misnomer that people throw around. Oh, he's married to his karmic. We're karmics. We're all karmics. Or else you and I would not be in 5D, number one, and we'd be in union, and we wouldn't be twin flames. We'd be twin rays. In your case, you guys are twin flames. I graduated, but you're still in the process. And I've explained in multiple lives like last year how me and my twin graduated to Ray. And we're at the preschool level, just on the side note. Certainly, we're not walking on water. We're not even near walking on water, but we're getting there. And the work continues even behind the veils, on the side note. So it's really important that you really discern. You may like a content creator. You may really, really like them. But when they drop that bullshit bomb of twin flames don't exist, or it's all bullshit, or it's new age, I don't know, man. Just do what you want to do. But personally, me, I don't want to hear that shit. And I actually made a comment to this particular content creator. Goes, it may not be for you, but that doesn't mean it isn't true for others. This is why the bitterness, like, let me just put it this way to you. Did I have doubts when I first got betrayed by my twin, and he thought I betrayed him, and it was a complete lack of clarity and communication and truth telling, and which led to one of our separations. But would I have made a comment to any of you that twin flames didn't exist because mine was falling apart? Fuck no. Never. I would have never done that in a million years. Because I always knew, and I've always known, and I always will respect the fact that just because my journey is fucking not going the right way doesn't mean yours is going to be in the same way. Thank God mine ended up in a healing, beautiful, final union. But no way would I tell you that my story is your story. No way. In fact, I didn't think I was going to make it with my twin. And if you look back in my videos on YouTube in 2023, you'll hear me saying that. Actually, I'm pretty clear. I'm not sure we're going to make it. And so I surrender to the next life. I give up. Meaning I surrender. I'm not going to cling and beg and plead to the universe. I'm going to grow up. I'm going to fucking grow up to a new level of consciousness. I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to be in service to people, and I'm going to wish to God that they actually succeed. And guess what? Some of my clients are, and some won't. And the ones that won't already know they won't. They won't. There's certain dynamics that are going to be put in place. I already know it with some clients. With some clients, I know that it could be a month before one of them dies, where union happens, and it's the final clearing, purging, forgiving, and honoring each other. Finally. But because your relationship is fucked up, doesn't mean you start telling other people that it doesn't exist. That's fucked up. Hopefully that makes sense. I used to believe. Well, I'm sorry if you don't. It's on you. You got to make decisions. You're going to believe? It's like it's amazing to me. There's one woman that's going to actually save her life by meditations and eradicate the cancer. There's another woman that won't make it. Am I supposed to believe that a person can't heal because one didn't make it, but one did? I mean, where does cynicism end here? When will you start believing that just because it's not for you, it doesn't mean that it's not for others? And you should want other people to be happy. You should want other people to be in union. You should fucking support that. How selfish is it? You should be, I'm pissed. How dare you fucking take your fucking inability to actually come into union and throw it in other people's faces like that's your reality for everyone because it's yours. Because you fucked up, so everyone's going to have a fucked up relationship. That I can't even believe the logic. And you think you're going to ascend with that kind of fucking mindset? No offense. I used to believe. You should never stop believing because if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But certainly you should hold sacred space for others who it is for. Selflessness and ascension are connected. Cynicism and ascension are not. They're not. I'm sorry if I'm angry today. Righteous fucking anger. I have a right to put foot to ass. I have a right. There are young people right now who need us to hold sacred space for their love. And just because you don't believe anymore doesn't mean that I will not hold sacred space for those kids coming up. How dare you take your shit on other people's fucking stories. You take your cynicism and your lack of belief because somebody fucked you over and you thought they were a twin. For all I know, they weren't even a twin. It was lust. It was past life connection. It was karma. It was bullshit. It takes a long time for us to figure out we're twins, my friend. Oh my God, I've never felt this way before. So fucking what? That doesn't make you a twin. Be careful, my friends. You reap what you sow. You plant the seeds of your discontent and you will get the fruit, the poison fruit of that labor. Be careful. Because it's not always about you, my friend. You are not the center of the universe. We are here in service. And it's a word that very few people know how it works. How it works is, I am now, okay, just so you know, a devout celibate to my beautiful twin on the other side. I am in devout celibacy in 3D. That doesn't mean I don't want to hear how in love you are with your twin and how wonderful day you had, wonderful union you're having. I want to celebrate that with you because I've tasted that nectar and I know how beautiful it is, how it melts in one's heart. Why would I want to deny that to anyone else? Because my loss. How incredibly selfish, how sick. It's actually toxic. Be careful who you listen to out there. There are some big assholes playing the spiritual game. Be careful, my friends. All right. I will upload this, by the way, this video, just so you know, on my YouTube. I've uploaded 2. Some of them skip. You know, TikTok does this little game. Just push it forward and it'll go right into, and I'll start grabbing and you'll start hearing it without any buffering. Okay? But I'm uploading this. Share this motherfucking video with other people who are talking that bullshit. He cheated on me and I just don't believe in all men cheat. Good, enjoy that life, enjoy that reality. Keep fucking embracing that. But stay the fuck out of the way of people like me because I will kick you to the curb so I can make way for a man and woman or same gender to find their twin flame journey and to be supported and loved and applauded. As for you, who it didn't work for you, fuck off. We don't give a shit. Heal. Grow the fuck up. And be in service to others or get the fuck out of the way. Sending you much love on your journey. Namaste.